Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video I'm showing you something that I started in one of my lives in my Grateful Palette membership. And what I started was photo extensions. When you have a snippet of a photograph, whether your own or from a magazine or you printed it out online or something, and then you cut just a small part of it. Stick it onto your paper, your journal, your canvas. In this video, I did it on canvas to show how we can take it from our journals onto a canvas and then extend the painting. And this is an excellent exercise in terms of, there are two ways you can do it. One, where you're color matching, really trying to get that color correct. And it is something that I teach in color theory courses and painting courses, trying to get those colors. And then you could also do it in a way where you don't want the colors to match and that you're expressing yourself in different ways and adjusting the color, whether slightly or exaggerating it. And so it's really a nice way of developing a snippet of a photo and also using your imagination. What else is in that photo? It doesn't have to be what's in the actual photo. So we did that this month and we used it as our cover for our handmade journal this month, for the theme of ocean breeze, summertime, etc., all the blues, beachy colors, etc. But we talked and learned about that one technique of photo extension. So in our live, I started it and I am continuing it here with you for you to get a sneak peek of what we do and also a sneak peek of photo extension. I wonder if you've done this before. Let me know, or if you haven't, try it with me now. So let's begin. Okay, this is what I started in my life, and what I did is I took the snippet of my photograph and I stuck it down on my substrate. I am working on canvas. You can work on anything you want, paper, journal, anything, board, etc. I stuck mine down. You can stick yours anywhere you want on that surface. Think about where the rest of that image is going to go and place it as you might want to. Top, upper right, bottom, lower left, smack in the middle, anywhere you think works well. For me, I notice there is part of the palm tree trunk and the rest of the leaves that need to go up in the sky, so I'm allowing that space so that I can add that in. Then I work on my background. As always, work on your backgrounds and then forefront. So what you see right now is the background. Now I'm working in the Impressionist technique, which is like a dots and dabs of your brush. You're dotting and dabbing your brush. The Impressionists were the French Impressionists in the 1800s, and they were very interested in color and how light affected color. And so that's what I did. I copied these colors and I tried to match them. But what I also did, I pulled in some of my own color in there, as you can see. So I did the sky, I did the sea, and the sand. Now, here with you, I am going to continue. Now, I am now adding my foreground. I'm going to do my tree. But before I do my tree, I decided, in that photo, there was not enough of the ocean scene. And I wanted to give my composition a little more interesting kind of feel, not just that straight horizon line and then a straight line for the ocean. I wanted it to curve and feel like a bay, and I was seeing that in perspective. So I am now I mixed some of my blue and I did a wash, which is thin, and I make a curve. Now, what you can do, because I've been doing this a lot and I just kind of dive right in the videos that I did for my Grateful Palette in the classroom hub, I drew it with pencil to show you can extend what you're going to do with pencil. So I drew the rest of the palm tree, I drew the trunk, I drew the shoreline, all of that, okay, with the pencil. Here, I'm just going straight in to give you an idea of how I paint and how I move on these. And so I'm mixing my colors. Some of the blues that I'm using, cobalt blue, ultramarine, and primary phthalo blue. And I'm just using some Artist Loft paints that I have here, and I'm mixing the colors. I'm also looking and seeing what are the colors I would like to introduce. I'm not trying to color match fully. I am color matching for it to look similar, but I'm also using that Impressionist style where the French Impressionists would add other colors that they see, because the way the light hits surfaces, it changes color. Then you start seeing all these yummy colors introduced within one color. So you might think, well, the ocean is just blue, but then I'm seeing some beautiful greens coming there, different types of whites. So I put some of the white on the shoreline for like foam. And right now I'm mixing my greens for my palm leaves. Now, what I love to do here when I'm working with Impressionist techniques and dots and dabs, I don't just mix one color and work on that. I mix a variation of all the colors I see in there and some of the colors that I would expect to be in there, or when the light hits it, what I want to see. You can exaggerate these as well. So you might do a totally different color. You might do the same color scheme, but pushed and exaggerated some more. So as you can see, I'm trying to match some of those colors. I have all those beautiful greens. I mixed my own greens with the blues I called out, and also my yellows. Lemon yellow, and I use dark cadmium yellow. And also I mixed my browns. So I didn't mix brown from scratch. I used some brown that I had here. I used burnt sienna, which I love, one of my favorite colors, and burnt umber. And I mixed them in. I also added a little touch of blue for the darker areas. But I started light and then start going in darker with the darker colors. So as you can see, I have a nice palette of all these different variations of colors that I can just dot and dab. And when you're doing the Impressionist technique, what happens is that you want those different variations on your palette. So you don't have to wait and mix them and mix them. You just go into the darker one, go in a little lighter, go into the light one. And you can move like that, light to dark, etc., or dark to light. Now, as I finished my trunk and I'm looking at it, I'm thinking of what areas would be dark, what areas would be light. And now, rinsing out my brush, because now I want to get into my greens. Now, with the greens, as you can see, I'm just diving in to the palm tree, to the leaves themselves. So if you're doing this, whatever it is, use a pencil. If you don't want to dive right in with this, use a pencil and sketch out. Look and see. Even if you don't think you're very good at drawing, the snippet you have there already started that drawing. So you can just extend it. You don't have to do much more. You can just use your imagination and see how far out these branches will go. Maybe you want to make them bigger or larger. Okay. So I go in with my green, and as you can see, I have many different types. I go in with, a mossy sort of green that I mixed, also adding in with the blue. And now I'm going in with some of the browns mixed into the greens, because with the palm tree, you can see, if you zoom right in to the ones that were already there in the photo, there are a lot of brown parts that you're seeing through. So I'm using some of those brown in between, some more than others, and I'm just trying to build and build and build on the layering of that. Still using dots and dabs. Sometimes you might see me use like strokes to get that stroke of the palm leaves, so you see those nice thin lines. I'm using a flat brush, but it's small. And so when I turn it to the side, I can get those thin lines. And now I'm putting some of the highlights. Those palm trees, you start seeing some of the yellows. The leaves actually are yellow, and also the way the light is hitting them might give more of that yellow effect. And so I really pushed the yellow in that for it to just pop and stand out against the sky. Now I'm going on this shadow. Now in my original photo, the shadow appears blue. And so I am just doing a wash of one of my blues that I got there. It's cobalt blue with some white, and I washed it. I put some water in it, calls it a wash. And then I just place it on to see where it is and kind of dot and dab. But because I'm using this painterly kind of flow, it goes nicely with my whole Impressionist technique. And so there, as you can see, I have finished all of the areas. I did my foreground. What else? What else do I want to do? In my original painting, I didn't have these large clouds, but I want to put some clouds in the sky. I want it to be feeling like a beachy day, bright blue skies, fluffy white clouds. I also put in some white at the horizon line, right before that dark horizon line. Usually when you get closer to the horizon line, you would see a lovely lighter part. So here you have it. That is what I did. And look closely at that little box that I stuck on there of the photograph itself. This was so much fun. I would love to see what you did.